It's Lydia. I'm here for my week 12 extract journal, my last journal. You're getting just my face again today. I did scroll through the We Are Teachers helpline before setting out to do this today, but I wasn't really seeing anything that desperately needed to be shared today, which can be good and bad. I think some of it is a lot of teachers are on spring break right now, especially in the South and kind of Midwest, but here on the Upper East Coast we have a couple more weeks to go. From kind of a wisdom standpoint, I think overall, this is a reminder that the internet is can be a garbage place. I know that we're talking about ways to safely and mindfully use the internet, but I think that communities of practice are unfortunately what I'm going to call a bloodbath, because somebody is always not going to like what someone else has to say. I think I asked a question in a more, like a medical-based medication group the other day from a personal standpoint. I was like, hey, has anyone had this experience? I just want to know. And I was attacked by multiple people in very, what I would call verbally graphic ways, I just wanted to know if anyone had trouble getting their medication from a pharmacy. And I had a lot of people telling me, wow, it must be nice to have insurance, or wow, it must be nice to be able to go to a pharmacy, things like that. And while this is not the community practice that I specifically focused on for this class, I still think it's a prime example of what I still see in my community practice that I'm observing, is that somebody always has something to say. I feel that people on the internet forget the saying, if you don't have anything nice to say, you don't say it at all. And I also think that sometimes people feel safe oversharing. You would not have the guts to say some of these things to people's faces, or, ask a coworker for this advice, but you're asking the internet. Hiding behind the keyboard, and the message board, I think, was a Macklemore rap lyric from years ago, but I do think about that when I see things like this. I do think that these do have some positivity. They are event space, good, bad, and different. And I have learned plenty of things from not just this community practice, but others. Sometimes you just need that outside resource. You need to pick someone else's brain. And these are all prime examples that you have to take everything with a grain of salt. I was trying to quickly explain multiliteracy, or just the word literacy in general, to my 7th graders the other day. We started our financial literacy unit, and when I asked them what the word financial and the word literacy means, most of them for literacy said reading. And it opened up a discussion about how literacy just means being conscientious. And I asked them, do you know what take it with a grain of salt means? And I said, that is a lot of what literacy is being conscious and being aware of your surroundings and what you're doing. Now, granted, some of them are trying to say financial literacy, money with a grain of salt. But if you teach middle school, you understand. But I think that's a really good way to put it, because you have to just be so critical, in the sense of not mean and uptight, but critical as in observant, and kind of pulling apart things. Whereas oftentimes we're only getting, actually I would say 99.9% of the time, we're only getting a snapshot in time. There are 3 sides to every story. There is the first, the second, and usually the truth is somewhere in the middle. And I think communities of practice are a great example of that. I thought this was a fun and cool way to take a group that I normally look at and think about it harder. I would definitely like to do this again with a different community practice, probably something that I know nothing about, or something that I am trying to learn from the ground up. I think that would be really cool. But this has been a fun way to document and think about what I'm doing. And I think it's fun too to just talk through my thoughts and feelings from a journaling standpoint. I think most people think that journaling has to be done mechanically with like pen and paper or maybe just typing. But I'm really liking this like verbal vomit to the camera in a multimodal way. It feels more connected, it feels more live. And I think I just completed my Ignite talk on digital footprint and sharenting and child social media influencers. I get the appeal. I get the appeal of just letting it out and just expressing yourself in another space, which is a big part of communities in practice. So, a lot of wisdom to be taken, a lot of things to be taken from that community and how I want to conduct myself as a teacher and as an educator and as an online citizen. But this journal has been a great experience, and I hope I get to do something like this again. Bye.